Hey guys, welcome back to another opinionated argument. Today, we'll be discussing the 3DS line of systems, and why all versions of the 3DS except from the original suck. Before we talk about the 3DS, we of course have to talk about the original DS. Now, to put it lightly, this thing looks like a fucking bomb. Like seriously, they couldn't have made this thing more clanky and chunky than it is. I'm sure every child who brought the original DS to school was probably ostracized from the rest of the students. Now the DS Lite is where things get good. A slim design allows for the device to be carried around easily, and now it doesn't look like an Eastern European missile. They made the buttons a lot more chunky, which, on paper, sounds bad, but it means it's a lot more responsive to the D-pad and buttons being pressed down. The DS Lite was the pinnacle of handheld console design, but Nintendo is all about innovation, so the obvious next logical step was to upgrade hardware. Better hardware would usually mean that the console would be able to run games better, right? The 3DS did run games better than the DS and DS Lite. But the marketing point was for some reason the 3D effect that could be applied. The issue with that was that nobody fucking uses this thing. Seriously, nothing more pointless could be added to a console. Luckily for fans of good eyesight, the 3D effect is optional, but then you're left with a very expensive, slightly upgraded DS Lite. Still, the 3DS sold fairly well. People thought Nintendo was done with gimmicky upgrades to their handhelds, but nope. On July 28, 2012, they released the 3DS XL. Are you fucking kidding me? All they did was increase the size of the 3DS, which makes it harder to carry around in something like your pocket. This wouldn't be so bad if they didn't make the original DS smaller with the DS Lite, as they just completely went in the opposite direction in terms of design. But no, Nintendo weren't finished just yet. Only a year later, they released the 2DS. What the actual fuck? This thing can't even fold. It's like a stone slab with an LCD screen inside of it. Not only did Nintendo release this waste of £100, they even released a 2DS XL. Seriously, someone at Nintendo was clearly being blackmailed by someone with an inflation fetish. Now it doesn't at all fit in my pocket, I would have to keep it in a fucking backpack or something. The only good thing to come out of an XL handheld would be the bigger screen, but if I wanted a bigger screen I'd just use a dedicated console. This history of failed handhelds seems to have been what provided the Switch with success, as Nintendo actually gave a use for the console being larger than the standard handheld. In total, however, Nintendo inflated the DS market with a grand total of 8 consoles, 12 if you include the aptly named new 3DS and 2DS systems. This just made everything confusing for everyone, except from the fact that, if you bought a 2DS, you are a fucking idiot.